Yesterday, I was listening to the Hekaya Abunuasi by the president.
What is that?
When he was telling us stories, how he was asked for 10 billion.
Sorry, what is Hekaya Abunuasi?
Hekaya Abunuasi is stories ajaba. You know, the stories people tell in the hood that don't really make sense.
Where were you listening? Where were you hearing them?
I was trying to make sense of what the president was saying. Because, look here.
You're talking about the interview?
Pardon?
You're talking about the TV interview?
The TV interview. I was listening to the president, and he does not realize he's talking to Kenyans. Kenyans are extremely, extremely informed. So he needs to come to that realization that he was asked for 10 billion. You know, there was a rumor. I used to be an advisor in the office of the deputy president. And there was a rumor that he had demanded from Uhuru Kenyatta 5 billion shillings for him to support Uhuru Kenyatta. We never took it serious. So the president, when he sits, he needs to know first, Kenyans don't believe him. Kenyans don't trust him. That is why we have a gazette notice.
I mean,
look here.
How do you say that as a blanket statement?
That is why we have the military.
Is it a section of Kenyans or it's
It is Kenyans across the board.
I'm sure honorable question.
That is why when you see people saying Ruto must go at Nyayo Stadium, you see them in Isiolo, you see that in Kisii, you see that in Kisumu, you see that it means it is the whole country. You can also see that online. It has been demonstrated, and that is why he is unable to ask for removal of the gazette notice that is giving the military an opportunity for them to be in our streets. That is why we are saying here today he has not even called for the account. We need him to be accountable for the children that have disappeared. And one thing that I picked from yesterday's interview is that the president said he has disbanded the police unit that was doing those things. That was unfortunate. So the president knows there was a police unit that was abducting and killing our children. The president knows that there was something that was happened and he never did anything. Now he's stepping into Mount Kenya, one of his biggest ethnic bases that gave him the opportunity to try and hoodwink them one more time. I know the mountain people pretty well. They are very truthful, like Rigathi Gachagua is truthful. Mountain people, when they promise you they'll give you something, when they promise you they'll give you something, they actually do. Okay. They promised Ruto they would. Now they've said he has to go, and I can tell you there's no effort. There's no effort. And I was, even when we were watching TV last night, the few who were being interviewed, they said, sasa nakuja kufungua nini?
Okay.
Is the project? Now they're struggling to try and finish the project.
We'll talk about that. What is it?